Welcome to the Writer's Block lecture series lecture. My name is Dean Wesley Smith. I have been a professional writer since, well, I started selling stuff in 1975. I actually went full-time in 1987, and I've been pretty much a professional writer and an editor with a stint in a publishing chair for a short time since then, since 1987, full-time. I haven't had a job in the real world. I am sitting in my offices here at my office, in the offices of WMG Publishing. You're gonna chuckle at some of my tongue-twisting antics here through this lecture series if you haven't watched any of these before or done any of the online workshops. I'm sitting in my office at WMG Publishing. I'm always up here at night. The funny noise you hear is Highway 101 here on the Oregon coast. As sometimes a truck will go by or a loud car or something out there. And if you have taken any of the online workshops or been here on the Oregon coast for one of the workshops, you get a tour of this place, but I'm not going to do that now. This is just a quick lecture series, and we'll go from there. So I want to get started on this. Basically, the title of this one is Writer's Block and Procrastination. How do you get past it? How do you get past writer's block, and how do you get past procrastination? So people who really know me and have been around me for a long time are going, "You're talking about writer's block?" Well, yes, I am, because it's a real myth out there, and it's something that a lot of people believe in. And so I'm going to try to help you here. If you're one of the people, since you're taking this, that have issues with this, which pretty much every writer does in one form or another. I mean, I think it's nature of the beast, considering that, remember, we work between our ears, and that's where all of our worlds go on and everything else. And so we're always fighting battles between our ears to get things done and to make sure things get done. So what is writer's block? I'm going to start that off real quick here, and this first video or two. And again, remember, you can come back to these at any point you want. If a month has gone by and the password has changed, just write me and I'll get you the new password for the new month. So a year from now, you can come back to this and look at it again if you're having issues. So if something in this strikes you as oh, well, that makes sense, then you go off and then you come back. So going to work on how to get past these and how to be more productive. But first, we got to talk about writer's block. That's first up here on the queue. And then we'll get to procrastination in some of the later videos. Writer's block doesn't exist. I mean, it's just a gigantic myth, you know, and that's hard for me to make you believe, because I'm not offering any proof or anything else. But it just flat doesn't exist. It's not a real phenomenon. What is real is project block. A writer can get stuck on a project. Your subconscious, you'll make a wrong turn somewhere, or you won't be ready to write it yet, or something else in your subconscious, or fear is a gigantic element of this, will get in the way and you'll grind to a halt on that project. Now, that's totally normal. That's totally normal. So when you hear a professional writer like me say, "Oh, I never suffer from writer's block," well, that's true, we don't, because there is no such thing as overall writer's block. However, we all suffer at times from project block, where the project just goes, well, we're professional writers. We have learned the simple little trick of moving on, and I will talk to you about that in a minute, or how to get past some of these when it grinds down, and we'll talk about that in some of the videos too. The history of this, the history of the term writer's block, is kind of lost back in the back in time. It's way back. It's been around for a long time. It has always been an excuse. Professional writers look at people saying, "Oh, I got writer's block, I can't write," and we never say anything, but we always think, "Yeah, you're just lazy." You know, that's the bottom line. That's what professional writers think. You paid for this lecture, you're going to get the truth out of me. And so, you know, the truth of the matter is, we just think that's just silly. Any long-term professional writer, younger professional writer, someone with only 5 or 10 novels under their belt, sometimes still think this exists. and haven't worked past the idea. But any of us who've been around for 20, 30 years, no, this is just a joke. And often you'll see us either roll our eyes or someone will start talking about, oh, their writer's block, and you'll just see professional writers' eyes glaze over. And pretty soon they're off trying to find a drink at the bar or something, propagating a whole nother myth because most writers don't drink. And so, one of the other aspects of writer's block is that it is this myth. It is a gigantic myth. It is taken off of the fact that we all suffer from project block. But if you're a writer who your entire writing world and everything is boiled down to one project, and then you get stuck on it, then you have project block, and your subconscious is not letting you move forward. Your fear is not letting you move forward. You get wrapped into a whole bunch of things that I'll mention in a little while, and pretty soon you're just stuck. And if your writing life, your writing world, everything about you is one project, one world, one novel, well, then I suppose you could say you have writer's block. But, I'm talking here to people, I hope, who want to at least go on and write more than one project, possibly get down the road where they're even making a living with their fiction, which is very possible these days. Lots of ways of doing it, and we're going to have another lecture series on that down the road here on how to make a living with your writing. But to make a living with your writing, you've got to throw this complete myth out the door of that there is such a thing as writer's block. No, there is not. Professional writers and writers who understand this never have writer's block. Do we get stuck on projects? Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's lots of reasons for that. I'll explain some of those in a minute. But writer's block is a myth. You must stop using the term, for your own writing, because that just plays back into that subconscious of, oh, I can't write. No, you can write. Just go write on another project. Sounds so simple. It's so hard, but it sounds so simple. I'll give you some solutions in a minute.